Hello, Algebra 2 class. Mr. Martin here from my virtual classroom / my kids' playroom. So today we're going to be continuing our work with parabolas and work with quadratics. And we're going to be converting some graphs into vertex form. But before we get to that, let's kind of discuss what's going on for today. So we're going to start with this video. Okay, watch the video, comment on the video either on YouTube or on Canvas or send me an email. That way I can know that you watched the video. Tomorrow, Tuesday, what I want you to do, I'm going to have another video for you. Watch the video again, same deal, comment on it. That way I can mark you for being there, for watching it. And then on Wednesday, I have some work for you to do that's going to relate directly to today and tomorrow's video. Finish that work, send it on in to me. Only spend a half an hour doing it. I don't want you to spend more than a half an hour. There's going to be probably work that'll be on the page will probably be worth maybe like 45 minutes to an hour's worth of work. So pick a couple problems. You don't have to do them all. And then on Thursday's catch-up day, things that you didn't get to in past weeks or maybe that you missed earlier in the week, please do that stuff on Thursday. If you have questions on what you need to do, please reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to support you in getting the work done that you've missed. Friday is our social emotional day. Take time to meet with Ms. Johnson and Ms. Armistead and Mr. Nelson and Mr. Bergenholtz. They're both they're both meeting twice a day. Okay, I went last week or the other week and got to see some students. It's great to see your faces. We'd love to kind of continue to see your faces. It's tough not being able to see you guys. We miss you guys. We do want to kind of keep that connection that we have. Okay. As I mentioned, we're going to be doing working with parabolas. We're going to be taking a graph of a parabola and then transferring it to vertex form. We did this, but we did this with factored form last week. We took a look at a graph in factored form and we converted it into, or we took a look at a graph of parabola, then we converted it into a formula in factored form. So let's take a look at what this looks like today. So students will be able to put graph of parabola into equation in vertex form. So good, we have vertex form up here right now. Okay, my vertex form is y equals a parentheses x minus h in parentheses squared plus k. We know that my h and my k are my vertex and a is my stretch and compression factor. So I need to be able to input my vertex, my h and my k, into the equation, and I need my stretch or compression factor. So let's take a look at this graph and see what I have. I'm given my vertex. My vertex is -1, 2. So -1, 2 is my vertex. Right? Or my h and my k. And then I have another point at 0, 4. So we have a 0, 4. I'm just going to label that as a point. What I need to know is an a value. I need to know what my a value is. I don't know what it is. Okay, so I have to solve for a. Let's put in what we know into the equation for vertex form. Let's just start with inputting my vertex in. That's a y equals a, that's my stretch or compression factor, I don't know what that is, and then x minus h, which is my x value, my vertex, minus 1, so that just a negative and a negative makes a positive, plus 1 squared, and then plus k, which is my y value, my vertex, plus 2. All right. So I got my vertex in there. Now I need an x and a y, or another point. Oh, well, I have another point here. I have 0, 4. So I'm going to go ahead, anywhere I see an x value, I'm going to put 0. Anywhere I see a y value, I'm going to put 4. So y, we have 4 equals a, x is 0 plus 1 squared plus 2. Now let's simplify. 4 equals a times 1 squared is just going to be 1 plus 2. Or 4 equals a plus 2. Going to get rid of this 2 on this side. Subtract 2, just using our basic solving techniques to solve an algebraic equation. And I'm left with 2 is equal to a. Now, I know my a value, I know my vertex. I want to put my vertex and my a value into the equation to give me my equation of a parabola in vertex form. Okay? So y equals a, my first one, a is 2 times x minus, what's my x, my h value? -1, so it's the same thing as saying plus 1 squared, and then my k value is 2 plus 2. Okay, that's my equation of this parabola in vertex form. Y equals 2, which is my a value, times x plus 1, which is -1 is my x value, my vertex, in parentheses squared, plus 2, which is my y value, my vertex. In vertex form, I can pick out the vertex of this, -1, 2, okay, and my stretch compression factor, my a value, is a 2. Right. Let's take a look at one more. Okay, so in this parabola, okay, it's facing the other way, it's facing downward, which means we're going to have a maximum point. We know what my vertex is right off the bat, so let's label that over here. 2, 3 is going to be my vertex. All right, so my h value is 2, my k value is 3. We'll just label that 2 equals h, 3 equals k. Right. So now, and then I have another point, 0, -1, which I'm given down here, is going to be just a point. So now I want to set up my equation, and then I want to solve for my a value, which I don't know. So the a value is my value that I'm missing right now. Use my vertex form, y equals a x minus h, which is 2, squared, plus k, which is 3. All right, come on over here. We continue to solve it. Y equals a times -2 squared plus 3. -2 squared is just going to be, that's going to be -2 times -2, which is going to be 4. All right. Y equals 4, or sorry, not y equals, we changed that y to a number, which would be 0, 1. 1. Before 4a plus 3. Now we're going to take this 3 and we're going to bring it to the other side of the equation. So we're going to subtract 3, subtract 3, subtract 3. Okay, from both sides, cancels. -1 minus 3 is going to be -4 equals 4a. And then my last piece here is I just have to divide by 4, divide by 4. I end up with -1 equals a. Great, I have my a value. Let's bring it back over here. So put it right here. -1. And I'm just going to set up my equation by using the vertex in my A. Y equals -1, which is my A value, x minus h, which is 2 squared, plus 3, which is my k value. And that is my answer right there. All right. I hope you understood this. I hope you saw what was going on, how to take a parabola and put it into vertex form by using the vertex and one other point on there. So all I need was a vertex and one other point, and I solve for A, and then go ahead and you can put that into your vertex form. If you have questions, reach out. Please comment on the video. Make sure that you understand and that you're doing this. Pretty simple. Just shoot me an email if you need to, either on YouTube you can comment, or on Canvas. Okay. Thank you. Look forward to the next video for tomorrow.